She's pulling away, and you don't know what to do. She used to text back fast. Her voice used to sound excited when she picked up your calls. Her eyes used to light up when you showed up. Now, silence, indifference, cold replies. The warmth is gone, and you're losing your mind trying to figure out why. You scroll through her old messages. You reread conversations. You think maybe it was something you said. Maybe it's just a phase. Maybe if you give more, if you love harder, if you show her how much you care, maybe she'll come back. But that approach doesn't work. It never has. Comment, I choose strength, because today this message will save your mind, your future, and your self-worth. Number 1, stay calm, don't react. She stops texting like she used to, suddenly replies with one-word answers, starts saying she's busy, and her energy completely shifts without explanation, and you feel it like a punch to the chest even if you pretend it's not there, because you know her rhythm, you know how she moves, and now she's moving different, and your mind goes to war with itself trying to explain it, spinning the same thoughts in circles until they become your reality. And suddenly the only thing you can think about is what changed, when it changed, and what you can do to make it go back to how it used to be. And in that moment, you betray yourself, because instead of standing firm in your worth, you allow her silence to make you doubt who you are. And that doubt starts to shape your actions. You start texting more, trying harder, proving yourself to someone who doesn't even have the decency to tell you what's going on. And the truth is, most men don't know how to sit with discomfort, so they start chasing it away by overreaching, over-explaining, and over-investing in someone who's already halfway out the door. And the worst part is you don't even realize you're doing it, because your brain tricks you into thinking if you just care more, show more, give more, she'll come back. But that's not how it works, because the moment you start reacting emotionally to her withdrawal, you reinforce her decision to pull away in the first place, because she's not looking to be smothered. She's looking to see if you're grounded enough to withstand discomfort without losing yourself. And when you fail that test, you lose more than just her interest. You lose your own self-respect, because deep down you know you're acting out of fear and not conviction, out of desperation and not strength. And what makes this even worse is society has conditioned you to believe that being emotional, expressive and reactive is healthy. But that advice doesn't apply in a dynamic where you're being tested for emotional discipline and presence, because when she pulls away, it's rarely random. It's calculated. She's observing if you're the type to unravel when things stop going your way, and most men do, and that's exactly why she loses attraction, because attraction isn't built on comfort, it's built on respect, and there is nothing respectable about a man who loses his composure the moment he feels uncertain, and this is where most men throw their power away, by making the woman the emotional anchor instead of being the anchor themselves. Because you're supposed to be steady, focused and directional, not clingy, reactive and unstable. And it's not just about her pulling away, it's about every time something doesn't go the way you expected in life and you collapse into anxiety, into emotional impulsiveness, into catastrophizing instead of grounding yourself in presence and strategy. Because a man's strength isn't in how hard he loves, it's in how composed he stays when love changes direction. And if you can't stay calm under pressure, you're not safe to follow. And if she doesn't feel safe following you, she detaches, often without saying a word. Because women don't always communicate with words, they communicate with shifts in energy. And if you're not grounded enough to sense it, and strong enough to not be manipulated by it, you'll always be at the mercy of her moods. And that's a dangerous place for a man to live, because you weren't made to be emotionally led. You were made to lead yourself and those around you through clarity, order, and presence. And the only way to do that is by mastering your ability to stay still when everything inside you wants to panic. Because that panic response is not love, it's attachment. and attachment is rooted in insecurity, and insecurity is the fastest way to kill respect. And without respect, there's no connection worth maintaining, because no matter how much you give or do or say, once she loses respect, she's already gone. And if you think you can win her back by being more emotional, more available, more expressive, you're only digging a deeper hole, because women aren't attracted to the version of you that begs for her presence. They're attracted to the version of you that walks away from confusion and chaos because you value your peace over her presence. And that kind of power doesn't come from games, it comes from inner discipline, from reminding yourself every single time you want to reach out, chase, or explain that your dignity matters more than her response, that your center is more valuable than her validation, that your purpose cannot be paused for anyone who doesn't know how to communicate like an adult, because let's call it what it is. If a woman pulls away without respect, without words, without closure, you owe her nothing, not even a reaction, because a man who reacts is a man who is owned by the external. And that man is easy to manipulate, and when you are easy to manipulate, you become disposable. And you know this. You've felt this before. The feeling of being discarded after giving your all because you didn't know how to sit in silence without losing your mind. And the reason it keeps happening is because you keep letting emotions run the show instead of strategy, instead of stepping back and evaluating the facts. Is this someone who brings you peace or pain, clarity or confusion, strength or weakness? And if it's the latter, why are you even entertaining the idea of saving it? Why are you sacrificing your integrity for someone who can't give you the bare minimum of communication? And it's because deep down, you're afraid that letting go means losing love. But what you're really afraid of is losing the illusion of love, because real love doesn't vanish when things get hard. It communicates, it adjusts, it stays honest, and anything else is a game. And men who play games lose time, energy, confidence, and eventually themselves. And I'm not here to coddle you or sell you hope. I'm here to remind you of what you already know, that the strongest version of you doesn't chase love. He creates a life so full, so rich, so purpose-driven, that anyone who doesn't align with it simply falls away. And that's not loss, that's alignment. And once you see it that way, once you start viewing her pulling away as a filter, not a failure, you regain all your power, because now you're no longer reacting to her choices. You're responding with standards. And that is how you lead, that is how you win, and that is how you make peace with situations that once broke you, because you've grown past the need to be chosen by someone who doesn't have the courage to communicate. And that's what this moment is really about. Not fixing her behavior, but fixing your patterns, healing the parts of you that mistake silence for something you caused. When in reality, her withdrawal says more about her lack of maturity than your worth as a man. And once you internalize that, once you see that not every loss is yours to carry, you can finally stand still in the silence, not because you're cold, but because you're clear, not because you don't care, but because you care about yourself more. And that is the shift that changes everything, from reaction to reflection, from desperation to direction, from chasing to choosing. And when you start living that way, you stop losing, because now you've become someone who doesn't get rattled by withdrawal. You get focused and you keep moving. And that is what makes you unforgettable to every woman who ever doubted your value. Not your words, but your stillness. Not your love, but your discipline. Not your chase, but your composure. Because that's what they remember, and that's what they respect. And from now on, that's who you become. And if you want to go even deeper into becoming that man, there's something waiting for you right now that will change your life forever. It's called the Stoic Relationship Blueprint, an unfiltered, timeless guide built on principles that men like you have used for centuries to stay grounded, focused, and unshakable, no matter who walks in or out of their lives. It's now available as an audiobook, so you can absorb these life-changing insights while taking a walk, jogging, or at the gym. Because this isn't just a book, it's your reminder, your reset, your foundation. The link is in the comments. Number 2. Keep building your life. When she pulls away, most men stop building. They pause their progress like their entire world has hit a red light because her energy changed, as if her withdrawal gives them permission to abandon everything they were becoming. And that's where the real damage happens. Not when she pulls away, but when you stop moving forward because of it. When you make her absence the center of your existence, instead of using it as the wake-up call to return to your path. And the truth is, most men don't realize they've lost direction until the person they made their direction suddenly detaches. And now they're left with nothing but the fragments of routines they neglected, the gym they stopped going to, the habits they broke to spend more time with her, the purpose they paused so they could be more available. And that's the silent tragedy of modern men, sacrificing their future for temporary emotional highs, hoping that being more present for her will earn more of her love. But it never does, because the second she becomes the mission dies. And when your mission dies, your identity goes with it, and you become unrecognizable to yourself, weak, reactive, unsure, no longer driven by who you're becoming, but consumed by what she's doing, watching her Instagram stories, overanalyzing her texts, wondering if she's seeing someone else, while your potential sits in the corner collecting dust. And you tell yourself it's just a phase, that once things are back to normal, you'll get back on track. But the longer you wait, the further away that track gets. And what you don't realize is that the way back isn't waiting for her to come around. It's waiting for you to come back to yourself. Because building isn't something you pause for people. It's something you do no matter who's there or who isn't. And every time you compromise your discipline for connection, you trade the long-term rewards of growth for short-term comfort that always expires. And this is where most men lose the game before it even starts, because they think love means merging your life into someone else's. But real strength is when you invite someone into your life and continue building it, with or without them, because what makes you attractive is not how much you adapt to her, but how relentlessly you stay on your path regardless of her presence. And if she respects you, she'll match your rhythm, but if she doesn't, she'll try to distract you. And the second you let that happen, you become dependent, soft, unsure, and eventually resentful, because deep down you know you gave up too much of yourself for someone who didn't even ask you to, and now you're angry at her for not appreciating something you were never supposed to offer. Your focus, your energy, your edge. And men lose their edge when they stop sharpening themselves, and you sharpen yourself by showing up every day to the things that make you powerful, not the things that make you comfortable. And women can sense that. They can feel when you've stopped being dangerous to your own mediocrity and started being addicted to comfort. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who used to be hungry and is now just happy to be here. And this isn't about being cold or closed off. This is about being solid, grounded, anchored in direction, because if you don't know where you're going, she'll either try to lead you or leave you, and either option ends with you losing her respect. And without respect, love cannot survive, no matter how many gifts you buy, how many compliments you give, or how much time you sacrifice, because once you lose her respect, everything else crumbles, and the only way to maintain it is to keep building, especially when things get uncertain, because when you're in motion, you radiate certainty, and women don't follow love. They follow certainty, and if you don't have it, she won't follow you. And if she doesn't follow you, she'll start leading you, and that's when the balance breaks. And now you're being pulled in directions you were never meant to go, becoming a version of yourself you don't even recognize, saying yes when you mean no, tolerating confusion as affection, and wondering why you feel anxious all the time. And it's because you stopped building, because building gives you momentum, and momentum gives you peace, And peace gives you perspective, and with perspective you don't beg for people to stay. You evaluate if they deserve to be there. And when you live that way, you stop chasing alignment and start attracting it, because now your life is so rich, so full of intention and movement, that anyone who isn't matching it simply disqualifies themselves, and you don't even need to explain it. Your life becomes the boundary, your growth becomes the standard, your results become the filter, and this is what most men never realize. The answer to almost every emotional problem you face is progress, not just emotional processing, but forward motion. Doing the things that build self-respect, that create evidence, that prove to yourself that you are who you say you are. And when you have that evidence, you stop negotiating with people who bring chaos, because now you have something to protect, and that something is not your ego. It's your future, your mission, your legacy, and every hour you spend thinking about her is an hour not spent becoming that man. And that man doesn't wait for people to come back. He doesn't check who's watching his stories. He doesn't base his worth on attention. He's too busy becoming undeniable, and that's what you need to do now. Become undeniable. Become the version of yourself that wakes up earlier, that eats better, that works longer, that trains harder, that lives cleaner, that speaks sharper, and not for revenge, not to get her back, but because that's who you were always meant to be, and she was just the detour that made you forget it. And if you take nothing else from this, take this: your life is waiting to be built, but it won't wait forever, and every second you spend trying to figure out why she changed is a second you could be using to change everything about your current trajectory. And once you start, once you commit, once you make that decision to put yourself first without shame, the world opens up in ways you can't even imagine, because now you've shifted your energy from trying to be chosen to choosing, and from that place you become unstoppable, because you're no longer emotionally enslaved to someone else's availability. And whether she comes back or not becomes irrelevant, because now your life is too valuable to be paused, too rich to be emptied, and too focused to be distracted. And that's when everything changes. When the version of you that once needed her attention to feel whole is now so full that her silence just sounds like space for you to grow louder, stronger, and more certain. And from now on, that's who you build. Not the man who waits, but the man who builds. Number 3, set boundaries. Respect yourself. You can't keep calling yourself a man if you keep betraying yourself to keep someone who doesn't even know how to show up consistently. And every time you stay silent when she disrespects your time, every time you laugh off behavior that eats away at your peace, every time you make excuses for her unreliability, her attitude shifts, her delayed replies, her weaponized silence, you're not being understanding, you're being used. And it's not about being controlling or dominant, it's about having enough dignity to refuse behavior that chips away at your value. Because if you keep teaching her that you'll tolerate anything just to keep her around, she'll believe it. And eventually she'll stop even pretending to respect you. And then you'll wonder how you ended up in a situation where you're doing everything right and still being treated like an option. But the truth is, you taught her to treat you like that the moment you let that first red flag slide, the first time she pulled away without a word and you let her come back without a conversation, the first time she played hot and cold and you danced to her rhythm instead of holding your own. And now she knows she can come and go as she pleases. She knows you're emotionally available on demand. She knows you'll keep proving your love while she keeps proving her power, and all of it comes back to boundaries. Not the ones you post online, not the ones you talk about with your boys, but the ones you enforce in silence when no one's watching. The ones that say, if you can't respect me, you can't reach me. And most men think boundaries are about controlling others, but they're not. They're about teaching people how to treat you by refusing to tolerate what doesn't align with who you are. And it's not just in relationships, it's in everything. If your friends keep disrespecting your time, you pull back. If your boss keeps piling on work without gratitude, you have the conversation or plan your exit. If someone keeps crossing lines you've drawn clearly, you don't argue, you disconnect. And in dating, this is 10 times more important because modern dynamics are built on testing thresholds. And if you keep failing those tests, you lose attraction before you even know you're being watched, because women don't respect what you say. They respect what you walk away from. And if she can disrespect you and still have access to you, you've taught her that your peace is negotiable, and no one values what's easily negotiated. And I know this hits hard because we've all been there, convincing ourselves she's just going through something, that we need to be patient, that love is about holding space, but what you're really doing is lowering the bar so she doesn't have to reach it. And the second you do that, she starts seeing you as someone she can control. And once she sees you like that, the game is over. Not because she's evil, not because women are the problem, but because that's how attraction works. It's built on polarity, and polarity dies when one person stops leading and starts chasing, when one person keeps showing up while the other person stays inconsistent. And you've got to stop thinking you can earn love by being overly available, by being overly understanding, by giving more than what's being returned, because what you're doing is sending the message that you don't value yourself enough to expect balance, and that makes her pull away even more. Not because she's toxic, but because your energy says, "I'll settle for anything as long as you stay." And no one respects that energy. No one stays loyal to that energy because it doesn't feel strong. It feels needy, and neediness repels what you want most. And the only way out is boundaries, unapologetic, unshakable boundaries that you live by whether people like them or not. Because you weren't born to be liked. You were born to live with truth. And the truth is, if someone cares about you, they'll match your energy, not manipulate it. They'll communicate, not confuse. They'll choose clarity over chaos. And if they don't, it's not your job to convince them. It's your job to step back, to protect your space, to protect your future from the kind of energy that slowly breaks you down, that makes you question your worth, that makes you second-guess your standards. And if you don't enforce boundaries, you'll keep ending up in relationships that look good on the outside, but drain you on the inside, because you'll keep attracting people who are more impressed by your flexibility than your firmness, more excited about testing your limits than respecting your values. And that cycle doesn't break until you do, until you say no with your chest, until you stop explaining and start deciding, until you stop waiting for her to act right, and start walking away from anything that feels wrong. And that's not cold, that's clarity, that's power, and that's the version of you she's scared to lose, because that version doesn't need her to choose you. He's already chosen himself. And once you do that, everything shifts. Your posture changes, your presence changes, your vibe changes. And now you're not just another man hoping for connection, you're a man on a mission with standards that don't bend, with expectations that don't shrink, and with a sense of value so clear that anyone who doesn't match it simply fades away, not because you push them, but because your energy no longer tolerates confusion. And from that place, you attract people who rise to meet you, not people who drag you down to chase them. And every man needs to hear this. Stop tolerating breadcrumbs when you bring a full table. Stop calling it love when it's manipulation. Stop calling it patience when it's self-betrayal. Because the longer you stay in dynamics where your needs are ignored, your voice is silenced, and your standards are treated like suggestions, the more you lose touch with your own power. And once that's gone, everything collapses. So this is your wake-up call. Draw the line, mean it, enforce it, not with aggression, not with ego, but with quiet, unwavering conviction. And the next time she pulls away without a word, you don't wait, you don't ask, you don't chase, you reflect, you assess. And if it doesn't align, you release, because your peace is not up for negotiation, and your presence is not a reward for people who don't respect it. And the man who understands that walks through life differently. He doesn't fear loss because he knows his value. And when you live like that, everything around you aligns. The people, the energy, the opportunities, not because you forced it, but because you finally set the standard and became the kind of man who refuses to lose himself, trying to keep someone who doesn't even know how to stay. Number 4, let her go without hate. You can't claim to value peace if you hold on to people who disturb it, and every time you allow yourself to stay emotionally connected to someone who's already disconnected from you, you create your own suffering, because holding on to someone who's drifting isn't love, it's control, it's fear, masked as hope, and you convince yourself you're being loyal. But what you're really doing is refusing to face the truth. And the truth is that if she pulled away without explanation, if she stopped showing up with clarity, if her effort changed and she didn't respect you enough to say why, then she's not for you. No matter how badly you want her to be, and no amount of replaying memories will change that, because memories are echoes, not reality, and trying to revive something that died silently is how men lose years of their life, trying to fix what wasn't broken, just finished. And you think letting go means you've failed, but holding on to someone who no longer aligns with you is the real failure, because you're investing in absence and calling it potential, and every time you keep that door open for someone who left, without looking back, you leave less room for what's meant for you. And most men don't let go because they think it's weakness. They think walking away means you didn't care enough. But real strength is when you care deeply and still choose to detach because you refuse to be disrespected. And there's nothing powerful about staying loyal to someone who treats your presence like an option, because the longer you stay tied to someone who doesn't value you, the more you forget how to value yourself. And it's not about being heartless, it's about being honest enough to say, if you can walk away from me this easily, you were never truly with me to begin with. Because love isn't proven in moments of ease, it's revealed in how people act when things get uncertain. And if her first move is to distance herself, to punish you with silence, to withdraw affection instead of communicate, then that's not love, that's emotional manipulation, and you have no business trying to win back someone who uses absence as control, because that sets the foundation for a relationship where you'll always be dancing to her moods, walking on eggshells, sacrificing your peace for her approval. And every time you ignore that red flag because of how good things used to be, you betray your present for your past, and that's a price too high to pay for a version of her that no longer exists. And the reason most men hold on is because they confuse emotional intensity with compatibility, and just because you felt something powerful doesn't mean it was healthy, doesn't mean it was right, doesn't mean it was love. Because real love doesn't vanish without warning, it doesn't punish with distance, it doesn't disappear in the face of difficulty. And if it does, it wasn't love, it was a performance. And the curtain finally dropped. And I know that's hard to hear, but the longer you protect the image of who you thought she was, the longer you delay your healing, because the truth is that the version of her you're attached to might have only existed in your imagination, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can let go with peace, not bitterness, not revenge, not cold detachment, but with silent certainty that you deserve someone who chooses you with clarity, not confusion, with consistency, not chaos, with communication, not games. And the best way to let go is to stop trying to make sense of her silence. Because silence doesn't deserve decoding, it deserves distance, and you don't owe closure to someone who never offered you respect. And I know your ego wants the last word, wants her to admit she was wrong, but the real power is when you stop needing anything from people who couldn't even give you honesty. And from that place, you don't react, you don't retaliate, you don't post quotes hoping she sees them. You just move on quietly, and when she realizes what she lost, she'll reach out. Maybe not to reconcile, but to see if she still has access. And that's your test. Because if you respond to that, you prove you never really let go. And that's when you go back to square one, and the cycle begins again. And I'm telling you now, end it. Don't respond. Don't entertain. Don't reopen doors. You had the strength to close, and every time your mind wants to revisit her, remind yourself of how it felt being confused, of how you begged for consistency and got silence, how you showed up fully and were met with absence. And if you can remember that, you'll never go back. Not because you're bitter, but because you finally understand that loving her doesn't mean she's right for you. And if someone needs to leave to realize your value, let them leave. And if they need to lose you to miss you, let them lose you. But you never put your life on pause for someone who had the audacity to treat you like you're temporary because you're not. And from now on, you act like it. And letting go doesn't mean you hate her. It means you love yourself enough to stop bleeding for someone who doesn't even know they cut you. And that shift changes everything. Because now you're free, not just from her, but from every version of you that needed her. And that's the real victory, walking away with no drama, no breakdown, no closure. Just the quiet understanding that you've outgrown people who don't show up fully. And when you live like that, the right ones don't pull away, they pull closer. Not because you begged, but because your peace is too valuable to lose, and they know it, and so do you. Number 5. Keep building your life. You've wasted enough time making her the reason you get up in the morning and the excuse you give yourself when you fall apart. And the truth is, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to wake you up and force you to fix your habits and build your health and change your income and repair your soul. And all that pain you're holding on to is screaming for direction, because the reason you feel stuck is not because she left, it's because you stopped moving when she did. And you can't build a future looking backwards. You can't build self-worth checking her profile every night. And you can't become anything of value if your mind is still living in a moment that's already passed. And the reason you feel tired isn't heartbreak, it's stagnation. Because when a man stops progressing, he starts deteriorating, and you were never meant to sit in sorrow. You were built to evolve, and evolve fast. But not from pressure, not from pretending to be okay, but from using the hurt as proof that your life needs a new foundation. Because if one person pulling away breaks your entire sense of direction, then it was never a direction, it was an illusion. And now you get to choose whether you continue pretending or start becoming. And this is the moment where most men either rise or stay the same, because life doesn't give you healing. It gives you the option to fight for it, and healing is in the work, not the waiting. It's in the commitment, not the distraction. It's in doing the things you know you need to do, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, because every day you don't build. You build the habit of staying broken, and the only way out is forward through sweat, through silence, through showing up when no one is watching. And if you can do that, you become dangerous, not to others, but to the old version of you that kept settling, that kept chasing, that kept believing love was the solution to problems. Only purpose could fix, and the new you doesn't wait for motivation, because he's built from systems. He doesn't look for signs, he looks for progress. And he doesn't need a text back to feel like he matters, because he knows what he's building matters more. And the deeper you go into your mission, the less you care about who left, because your life becomes so full of intention that their absence feels like clarity, not loss. And people will ask you what changed, and the answer won't be a woman or a quote. It'll be that you finally got tired of your own excuses and decided to become someone you're proud of. And from that moment on, you stopped building for validation and started building from identity. And your standards got higher, and your circle got smaller, and your energy got sharper, and the distractions faded, and the pain stopped defining you, and the version of you that used to beg for answers got replaced by the one who became the answer. And you don't post about it, you live it. And the way you carry yourself speaks louder than any caption, because now you've become a man who doesn't need to chase peace. He creates it, and when people meet you, they feel it. And when women meet you, they either match it or leave quickly, because now your life is so solid, there's no room for chaos. And when you live like that, the right people stay, not because you convince them, but because your presence demands alignment. And the best part is, you didn't change for anyone else, you changed for you. And that kind of change lasts, because it's not built on revenge, it's built on responsibility. And the more you take responsibility, the more powerful you become. And the more powerful you become, the more free you are, because you don't need anything outside of you to validate your direction anymore. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Not the absence of pain, but the ability to walk through it without slowing down. And every day you show up, every workout, you finish every goal, you complete every temptation, you say no to every distraction you ignore. You're proving to yourself that you are the builder of your own life, and no setback, no heartbreak, no silence can take that away from you, and that's when you win. Not because she came back, not because the pain disappeared, but because you became the kind of man who never needed either to begin with. If you're tired of being the man who gives everything and still ends up empty, if you're done being pulled, tested and discarded like your value is optional, the Stoic relationship blueprint was created for you. It's the guide they don't want you to have, the system that teaches you how to reclaim your power, how to lead in your relationships without apology, and how to stop begging for clarity and start becoming it. It's filled with timeless Stoic principles that you'll carry with you forever. And now, it's available in audiobook form so you can feed your mind while you walk, jog, or move through your day like the man you're becoming. You'll own it for life, and the next time someone pulls away, you won't flinch, because you'll be ready. If you're ready to take back control and never chase again, comment, "I choose discipline right now," like this video. Subscribe to help more men escape the trap society built to keep them lost and silent. The link to your new life is in the comments.